All right, guys, here we go again. We're against Tamworth here in the first match of the Super League 5 Cup. We've made some tactical changes, not to the formation, but to the tactics itself. I've done a little bit more research, and there's a couple of things I really want to test out here. So let's see how this goes. We hopefully we'll get some kind of result here. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. Nobody's expecting us to do anything. It's raining. And let's see what we can do. Now, I made these tactical changes before I had much time to teach the players about the tactics, so we'll see what happens. It might not work out so well for us. Boyce does a good job tackling the player to stop the attack, and so we'll see what happens. We're going to go a couple more minutes into this, and let's see what happens here. Here is Boyce with it, and he's fallen down with an injury. That's not a good sign. So Boyce, is he going to have to come out or not? Well, it's not showing him with an injury, so apparently he's going to be okay. Haran passes it back to Pudil, over to Swain. Nobody shows up for this match. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. But, I mean, there's just nobody here. Sarpong back to Swain. This is on television, too, by the way, so we'll get some sort of money from that. Sarpong with this again, over to Masters. This is looking like a great setup, and here comes Hall. Hall takes a shot and has it deflected out, and that's going to be a corner here for Hallam. So we'll see what we can do here. Poodle will take this corner, and he steps back and goes up and fires, and that's hit back straight to him, and he tries to cross it again and ends up just hitting the opposing player. And that's the end of that. And they have a break here. Look at this. Here comes Deacon. And look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys back at Swain, who does an excellent job playing defense, who knocks that one out. I should note that we have Kao Coco in a goal. He's a Myanmar player that we picked up again for nothing. I kind of know where the teams or the countries are that have mostly players on non-contract, as that cross ends up failing for us. And so we've gone and looked through all of the national youth teams in those countries, and we've picked up some of these players. Here's Masters with it, forward for Boyce. And Boyce gives up possession far, far too easily, unfortunately for him. I'm happy, though, that he's not injured. I was a little bit worried there at the beginning because he's a pretty good player, and it'd be nice to not have him injured. Boyce is offside there, so that didn't quite work out as well as we thought it would. Poodle here now with the throw. We're doing well in terms of dominating possession. I'm kind of surprised, and we end up winning a corner. So let's see how this corner goes. Now, we've changed the corner tactic a little bit. We've changed everything here. And Sarpong gets his head onto that one, but that one ends up going over and out, and so that doesn't quite do as much as we were hoping. We're going to try to get this ball back off of them once again and see what we can do. It's Deacon down here with it again, and I mean, we're doing okay marking them, I suppose, and there we go. We get this in the back, but Masters then does absolutely nothing with it. Let's see if Sion can get it off of him, and he does. That's pretty good. Cunningham now heads this over to Sarpong a couple minutes later. Down to Poodle. Poodle brings this down left side, Seong, and it goes back to Swain. You can see that we have that sort of passing setup over to Chu onto Masters. Masters knocks his forward for Haran, ends up with Seong, and he has a real bad first touch. Otherwise, that would have been a goal. Would have been 1-0 for Hallam. So Poodle goes back and wins this in the back, and you can see that tactical changes that we've made have had an immediate effect. Swain over to Chu, now to Sarpong. Sarpong to Masters to Boyce. Boyce forward to Haran, who's behind the defense and takes a shot, and that ends up being up and over the net. But that was a really, really, really good sequence. Masters wins this in midfield. We look like a completely different team. Masters forward to Boyce, back to Hall, and we slow it up a little bit. He knocks us forward for Haran, and he takes a shot first time and just barely misses it. It was just off, just a little bit off target. And so it is. This is headed back, and we come close to giving up a goal there, but we, I think, did well to keep that out. We forced a shot from a poor angle, and let's see if we can make the magic work again. And there's Cal Coco making the save, so good job by him in his first real attempt. Poodle throws this one on over, looking for Haran, can't find him. Hall has it over to Masters, back to Hall. Hall takes the shot and forces a save. We're getting more shots as well. Interesting how this works. And so we end up running after them once again. and Kiakoko is right there in the right place at the right time to make the save after that cross, and that works out pretty well. Masters winds up winning this over to Boyce. Back to Cunningham. Cunningham goes back to 2, and so we'll take a couple minutes and rest a little bit. Here's Cunningham with this again, lumps this forward now for Hall. Hall lumps it over, and he's called for being offside. Another one of those calls that I think was a little bit questionable, but so it is. Masters here with us again over to Chu. Chu up to Cunningham now. Cunningham forward to Hall. And Hall feigns going forward, goes backward again, and then just gives up possession. That's what happens when you're not really much of a player. Here's Cunningham with us again over to Boyce now. Up to Hall. Hall back to Cunningham, and he lumps this one forward, and it does just about nothing. But Chu wins this over to Sarpong. Sarpong forward for Seong, and he heads it, passes it instead of taking the shot. Kind of surprising that he would do that. I think that he thought he had less space, and he really did. Here's Pudel over to Haran, and there finally is the goal. Keegan Haran, second goal of the season, first goal here of the competition. It's 1-0 for Hallam, and that was pretty good. So we've not done this against the run of play. We actually look really good so far in this match, and Haran is just right there, and there's nothing they can do about it to stop that from going in. 1-0 for Hallam, and this may be the sign of something beautiful to come. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can hold on to it. Close to the end of the first half, and Seong wins this back again, but then loses it straight away. And we're going to win this right here. Yep, Chu wins it over to Boyce, down to Cunningham, and so that's the end of that. Campbell here takes a free kick. It's up in the air. Kiakoko jumps up and saves it, and so that's the end of that one. And here is now Pudel with a pass over to Cunningham, whose header also forces a really good save by their keeper, Singh. And we have to get another good save here. I know we don't need it. That one's up high and over everybody's head, and so that'll be the end of that. We've had a lot of momentum so far in this match, and we look like a completely different team. That was excellent. Keep working hard till full time. And we'll see what we can do, see if we can get a little bit more in by way of goals scored. Chu here with us in the back, lumps this forward for Seong, and he, as usual, is unable to run forward and get it. And that's the end of that highlight. They were not able to lump the ball up and over our heads, which is a little bit better than what we've seen in the past. So we're doing okay. This is back here with Chu in the back over to Swain. Swain, who's having a much better match, over to Pudel. Pudel lumps this on forward for Masters, then Haran ends up with it, takes a shot, and that is just off target, unfortunately. But we're doing better. Boyce now, very, very close to having a one-on-one with the keeper right there. And yeah, man. That's sort of the way that it goes. And this is lumped forward again to midfield. Haran wins this, and then Pudel wins it again. Pudel forward for Haran, doesn't win that. Masters, though, with this over to Sarpong. Sarpong up to Pudel, and that's a poor pass for Pudel. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit too far out in front of him. So we'll see if we can straighten that out here again. And first thing we got to do, of course, is prevent them from scoring. Chu wins this in midfield, and then wins it again. Amazing. We're winning everything in midfield. Here's Boyce. Boyce over to Hall, down to Cunningham. Cunningham. And Cunningham with it again over to Sarpong. And his shot is deflected, and the keeper, Singh, ends up jumping up and grabbing it. And so much for that. Hall now with the throw over to Seong, back to Hall. And that is hammered straight off of the defensive player. That's going to be a corner that wins it for us again. And so it'll be Pudel here taking the corner. He goes back and takes it, looking for Chu, almost finds him, not quite. And Haran had it and then has it taken away from him. So we're not necessarily better in terms of preventing them from winning the ball back. And you can see their Boyce finally has been injured, and that's going to be the end of his day. We'll put Lesa on for him. Lesa, by the way, has a bunch of... I think I hit the wrong thing, didn't I? I did. I hit play. I forgot to hit confirm. So there we go. Lesa has a bunch of teams from Samoa in for him, or American Samoa in for him, and so we'll see if he stays on or not. He's had one assist for us. That's about it. This one doesn't quite go over. Haran, though, over to Masters, who takes a shot, and that one is deflected out for another corner. So we have another opportunity here to try to make something happen. It's going to be Poodle here, stepping back to take it, and he fires. Sarpong can't quite get his head onto it. Seong with this in the end. And Seong, with a great pass forward, can't quite get it where he wants it. And it's Lesa who takes a shot, and it's deflected back. Here's Cunningham with it. Forward for Seong. He just can't quite get there either. And, well, let's try to get it off of them. And Hall is able to go back and get it off of them in the end. And so that works out fairly well. We're hoping that Boyce isn't too badly injured. That's the one thing that's sort of on my mind right now, in addition to hoping that we don't give up a goal. But Creaney was called for offside, so that worked out for him. We would like it if we didn't have good players who are out with long-term injuries, and he definitely is a good one. Sarpong knocks us forward for Pudil, and it's back to Sarpong over to Seong, and that is out for another corner. So we have another chance to put on a little bit of pressure. Let's see what happens this time around. Pudil is going to take this corner. And it's going to be far post this time. Nothing happening. Lesa, though, with a first-time shot, and that almost went in. Wouldn't that have been nice for his first goal for us? That was impressive. We have to watch out that they don't score, but Kyaokoko is there with safe hands, and we're doing okay. Here's another shot for them. Bradley this time, and it's another save by Kyaokoko, and he's looked really, really good so far. In a match that probably kind of a surprise start for him. He's considered a fringe player, but he's only like 19 years old, and I've got to wonder if he doesn't have a little bit more talent and a little bit more potential than some of our coaches and scouts might have thought. And so anyway, we'll see what happens. Creaney here with this ball. Now, if we do win, this is not going to be like some sort of like brilliant, majestic victory, because this is not a team that is particularly good that we're playing. But I would argue that we look a lot better in this match than we have in recent matches. And this isn't just we hold on to the ball and maybe we get a shot eventually. We've been peppering the goal, and we keep winning it in midfield. Hall now with this. Needs to pass back. He does find Cunningham. Cunningham lumps us forward for both Lesa and Haran, and is just a little bit too far forward. That's, again, that lack of cohesion that's kind of getting to us, but we'll be able to figure this out. Cunningham over to Chu. We're getting good cohesion in the back. Cunningham is a good player. Lesa looking to pass, finds Hall. Hall forward. There's Lesa again, and that was a good give and go. Hall now with it. And he takes a shot from range. It doesn't quite do much of anything, but that wasn't a bad idea. Hall with the throw over to Haran, back to Hall, over to Cunningham. Cunningham forward for Lesa. He can't quite get there, and that's going to be out for a corner. Yes, for a corner. So here we go again, more adventure, and Poodle's going to step back. He's going to take this one. Looks like near post, far post. I'm not quite sure. I think that we told him mixed corners. I can't remember exactly what we've done here. And yeah, it's going to be far post. Looking for Sarpong. Can't quite get it there. And just a couple minutes left here in this match, and then we're done. Stan Swain, another really poor match, and 6.1 rating. Maybe he's not as good as I was hoping he would be, but it's okay. We'll give him some time and try to get him to get used to how things are going. And we need to get our guys back. And fortunately for us, their shot is up and over the net and is not even bothering the keeper. Kyaokoko knocks us forward for Seong. It ends up being lost by us in midfield, which is kind of a surprise. We'd been winning just about everything in midfield before this. Seong here with a strong tackle, and tries his hardest to win that back, and that looks a little bit more like what we wanted these guys to be doing. A lot of heart in that. Sarpong wins this finally. Over to Lesa, down to Hall. Hall brings us forward on the right side, and looking for Seong and can't find him. This is headed back to Seong, over to Poodle now. And Lesa looks like he has been injured as he's getting up and falling over and getting up and falling over and over again. So it's not having me take him out. And this is going to be the last free kick of the match. Sarpong wins it, and it's Haran who heads this backwards, and that's going to do it. And the whistle will come any minute now. And Kyaokoko ends up grabbing this, and there it is, full-time whistle, and Hallam have won. We had a 1.03 XG. We dominated that, 52% of the possession, so we didn't have too much. We had just enough, and we look like a different team. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.